The Hunt, tracking the world's most wanted man Osama bin Laden. Cold open night, Abbottabad, Pakistan, May 2nd, 2011. The rotors cut through the dark. Two stealth helicopters glide silently over the sleeping city. Inside, a dozen men sit in absolute focus. Navy SEALs trained for a mission the world can't know about. Below them, a walled compound hides the target of a 10-year pursuit. For the intelligence officers watching from Washington, D.C., this is the end of the story that began decades earlier. A single name has filled their files, their nights, their maps. Osama bin Laden, the most wanted man in modern history. It started long before the world truly knew him. Born in Riyadh in 1957, bin Laden came from wealth and influence, but his path diverged sharply. By the late 1980s, he was funding and leading fighters in Afghanistan, building networks that stretched across continents. When attacks against U.S. interests escalated through the 1990s, investigators at the FBI's counterterrorism division began assembling a profile. A financier turned militant leader, using global resources to plan operations in secret. They called the new initiative Alex Station. It was one of the first interagency units. CIA analysts, FBI agents, and foreign liaisons, all trying to connect fragments of intelligence scattered worldwide. Embassies bombed in East Africa. A ship attacked off Yemen. Every new file pointed back to the same network, Al-Qaeda, and to bin Laden himself. For investigators, the puzzle was growing, but so was the urgency. After September 11th, 2001, the case shifted from investigation to manhunt. The world's most advanced intelligence machinery focused on a single objective: capture or confirm his location. Billions of dollars, thousands of agents, and an unprecedented coalition of nations joined the search. Yet the man they hunted vanished into the mountains of Tora Bora, leaving behind only uncertain trails and unanswered questions. Years passed. Satellite images, intercepted calls, and local sources produced leads that faded almost as quickly as they appeared. Every new rumor sent teams into deserts, cities, and caves. Each false trail meant recalibrating the entire mission. Analysts at Langley built a psychological profile: cautious, disciplined, likely hiding in plain sight rather than in the wilderness. By 2007, attention turned toward northern Pakistan. One courier's name surfaced repeatedly in classified reports. Tracking that courier became the new center of gravity. In 2010, surveillance teams followed the courier to a compound in Abbottabad, an unusual building with high walls, no phone lines, and a mysterious occupant who never stepped outside. Over months, analysts compared body height, gait, and daily routines from satellite images. Still, no direct confirmation. Inside the Situation Room, every briefing carried the same question: is it him? There was no absolute proof, only probability. But after nearly 10 years, probability was enough. The mission plan was simple on paper, impossibly complex in reality. Stealth helicopters would enter Pakistani airspace. SEAL Team 6 would secure the compound, and intelligence officers would monitor live feeds from Washington. Shortly after midnight on May 2nd, 2011, the first helicopter lifted off from Jalalabad. When one aircraft crash-landed inside the walls, the mission silence broke, but the team pressed on. Within 40 minutes, the operation was over. Bin Laden was confirmed dead. No American casualties. The helicopters lifted back into the night, carrying the end of a decade-long pursuit. In Washington, the words were simple: justice has been done. For the agents and analysts who had lived this case since the 1990s, it wasn't victory. It was closure. Files were sealed, evidence cataloged, and briefings declassified. The manhunt that had stretched across 3 U.S. presidencies was finally complete. But within the halls of intelligence, new questions rose. What happens when a case defines an entire generation of investigation? And can any operation truly end an idea that once spanned the globe? The Abbottabad raid marked the conclusion of one of the largest coordinated efforts in modern law enforcement and intelligence history. It revealed the depth of global cooperation and the limits of it. For historians and investigators alike, the manhunt for Osama bin Laden remains a study in patience, data, and determination. It showed how technology, human intelligence, and persistence can converge, and how justice, even delayed, can still arrive quietly in the night. This was not a story of revenge, but of accountability. A case that began with chaos ended in silence, deep in the mountains of northern Pakistan. And for those who chased the trail for nearly 10 years, the moment the radio crackled Geronimo, it was not triumph. It was the sound of a file finally closing. Case file number 0711, closed. Subscribe for more real investigations that change the course of history.